Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me for this little lesson on tone and mood. And today we'll be talking about what's the difference between tone and mood. They're very close, but there's a difference. First, we're going to be talking about tone. In written composition is an attitude of a writer toward a subject or an audience. Tone is generally conveyed through the choice of words or the viewpoint of a writer on a particular subject. So basically, we're talking about the attitude that the author has when writing and the attitude that the author takes on throughout the story. Okay? You see tone develop through the author's choice of words. A lot of times authors will carefully choose their words because they really want you to know how they're feeling about a text when they're writing it. So they really want you to know exactly how they're feeling about what they're writing. And you also see it sometimes through their bias or opinion of the topic. In some, but not all texts, you'll see an author take sides. He may speak highly of one party and not so highly of another. So you can see their tone in the way that they write, the things that they say, the words that they use, and even in their punctuation. So just pay attention to the choice of words and if there's a bias. And some examples of words that describe tone. You have admiring, critical, excited, informative, judgmental, patronizing, vindictive, thoughtful, solemn, omniscient. Those are only a few words. There are so many other words that can describe the tone that the author may take on. But these are just a few to keep in mind. So I'm going to read this example passage, and after I read it, we'll do a review question. The girl threw her arms around her grandmother and wept loudly. Her grandmother hugged her tightly, and the little girl buried her face into her grandmother's chest. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she watched her father bury her puppy, her best friend. The rain began to fall and the wind began to blow. Her father wrapped his arms around her, and slowly they walked back into the house. Okay, the review. What tone did the author have in the passage? Was it A, happy, B, remorseful, C, aggravated, B, remorseful? The author talked about how the little girl buried her her face into her grandmother's chest, and tears were rolling down her cheeks. Her father embraced her. So we know that there's some remorse here. We know that the author is feeling sad for the little girl because he explains her in such a manner, to let us know how the little girl was feeling and how she cried and wept loudly. Okay. Now we're going to talk about mood. The element that evokes certain feelings or vibes in readers through words and descriptions. Usually, mood is referred to as the atmosphere of a literary piece, as it creates an emotional setting that surrounds the reader. So basically, what that's saying is when they say emotional setting that surrounds the readers, it's how the text makes the reader feel when the reader is reading it. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel happy? Does it make you feel sad? That's basically what the mood is. You see mood develop through the setting and the atmosphere of the text or story. So you can see it in the setting if it's rainy or, sunny. If it's crowded or if there's one person in a big lonely house. So in the setting, you can see the mood and you can actually feel what's going on with the characters and in the atmosphere of the text or story. Some example words for mood: amused, joyful, gloomy, mellow, angry, sad, depressed, happy. And again, those are only a few. But you may think, well, those words are just like the example words for tone. They are. Um, Tone is just when you're thinking about the author and his attitude towards it, but the mood is about you. The mood is about the reader. It's about how it makes you feel. Mood is a feeling. All right, so I'm going to read the example passage again, and we're going to review mood. The girl threw her arms around her grandmother and wept loudly. Her grandmother hugged her tightly, and the little girl buried her face into her grandmother's chest. The tears rolled down her cheek as she watched her father bury her puppy, her best friend. The rain began to fall and the wind began to blow. Her father wrapped his arms around her and they slowly walked back into the house. For the review, as the reader, what mood did reading this passage put you in? A. Happy. B. Hopeful. C. Sad. C. Sad. It kind of makes you feel sad because, it's not sunny, it's not bright. The rain is falling, the wind is blowing. The little girl is crying. She's watching her dad bury her puppy. And then the author added her best friend. So just think about that. She's burying her best friend. That's going to make you feel sad. She's crying. So the mood that you're in right now, you're not happy. You're not feeling hopeful. You're feeling sad for the little girl because she's lost her best friend and she's watching her father bury her puppy. So let's review mood and tone. First, remember that tone is all about the author, his or her choice of words, the punctuation that he or she uses. They may use all caps, and it's about the attitude of the author, not so much the feeling, but the attitude of the author. And when I say attitude, you may think about your parents saying to you, watch your tone when you're talking to me. They're telling you, hey, slow down. You're being a little bit disrespectful, or you're being a little bit loud, or you're being a little bit obnoxious. Any type of attitude that the author may have will come across in the tone. All right. And remember, with mood is all about the reader, the person reading the text or the story. How does the reading make you feel? Does it make you feel happy? Does it make you feel sad? Does it make you feel depressed? Does it make you feel angry? So mood is all about how the reader is feeling. So remember those two words. Tone is about the author's attitude. Mood is about the reader's feelings. I hope this has helped you guys out. I hope that we can move on with a better understanding of mood and tone, because I know they're a little bit confusing when talking about the two. But just remember, tone is about the author's attitude and mood is about the reader's feelings.